Hello, listeners. Welcome to yet another special episode of Courage Talks. Special guest today is GauravPant, endurance runner, ultra runner, spent more than 2 decades in corporate, especially in the fintech. But most importantly, he's a great human being with a huge sense of humor. Welcome, Gaurav.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Edil.
So the topic is Courage Talks, and the story behind the topic is my book Against All Odds, which is my father's biography. And when I was hearing my father's childhood stories, one thing which emerged was courage. He went through a lot of tough times and came out very strong. What does courage mean to you?
So, for me, courage is something to be consistent, to be showing up every time whenever there is a need, be it work or personal life or running. Just show up. That's courage. And I keep it very simple. Just showing up on the start line, as you say, as a runner, or any
Mhm.
task or project is given to you or you are assigned to, you just show up for that. And I think everything falls in place once you probably decide that once you manifest that it is possible. So you will have roadblocks across anything and everything in your life, but if you keep showing up, be there, give your 100%, and frankly, do it with integrity and
Mhm.
discipline, you will reach your goal.
Who's your role model for courage? Anyone you look up to as an example for yourself?
For me, everybody who is working hard to live their life daily is something courageous that they do.
Hmm.
But for me specifically, is my family member, especially I would say my father, my mother, my wife, my sister. Everybody is there who is supporting me or supporting themselves in some way or the other.
Mhm.
I look up to them. I look up to my family members mostly when I am in trouble or I have some issue or the other. I just go up to them and discuss. Plus, I have few friends. We have probably studied from nursery till our MBA. So those are the people who I kind of look up to because we are a kind of a coterie of 12 to 15 people, including my family, who
Mhm.
have gone through the thick and thin of life. And when you get stuck somewhere or you have to take something challenging, whatever stories or time you have spent with these people gives you courage that if during those bad times he, with our help or alone, handle all those tasks, why
Yeah.
can't I? Yeah.
So for me, you're synonymous with Gurgaon. Before this podcast, I wanted to get your background, and I knew that you spent a lot of time in Bombay before this. But not many might know about your childhood, your growing up days. So take us down memory lane. Bachpan kahan beeta? What are the earliest memories you have of your childhood, and anything naughty would be more interesting for people to know.
Naughty तो बहुत सारी हैं but
That's expected.
yeah. So I'm born and brought up in Lucknow, basically from Uttarakhand, but born and brought up in Lucknow, studied in Lucknow till my graduation,
Mhm.
and then did my MBA from ICFI Hyderabad, and then worked in Hyderabad for 5 years. Then I moved to Delhi for some time, and then moved to Lucknow to my hometown. Moved to Jaipur, lived there for 2, 3 years, and then since 2009, I'm in Gurgaon. My wife works for a company called TBO. I have a 12-year-old daughter,
Mhm.
and my mother stays with me. My father passed away some 15, 16 months back. My sister and my brother-in-law stays in Bombay, and my in-law stays in Lucknow. So that's about me in terms of who I am and from where I am.
What was growing up like for you? What is the memories of Lucknow that you have?
Look, Lucknow, I stayed for 25 years. So from class nursery till my graduation, I was there. So I have memories from my class nursery itself, right? And in between, I moved to Delhi for 2 years, but most of the time is there in Lucknow. How I've grown up in the school, in college, what I did. I was always a very average student, not a great studious one, although I tried to be always in front of everybody, but I was never a studious guy. So just had fun, studied less, played a lot. I was in a lot of my school teams, a lot of sports, be it hockey, cricket, basketball, football, every team or athletics. So all the teams I was part of. And then later on, all you would say, all the bad thing that happened in the school, my name was somewhere there. So I have done everything in my school and college days.
सबसे नामी किस्सा जो याद हो बताओ जिस which you are very proud of.
Uh, the story that I keep telling my daughter also sometimes, and she's like, "Say, look, you were like this." So we were playing a football match and I got hurt and I was like, why everybody's playing and I'm hurt? So I'm standing outside and it was peak summer and the grass is dry. So in the school, they cut the grass and pile it up somewhere.
आग लगा
So
दी.
somewhere or the other, in class 9, 10, there were friends of mine who used to smoke. बस माचिस मांगी और आग लगा दी और पूरी ग्राउंड में आग लग गई तो थोड़ा शोर हुआ एंड nobody was caught because we gave a weird reason कि सर देखो लेंस से ना वो
हाँ हाँ.
सन को दिखा के आग लगाई if you remember. So
So
that's one of the
what was the
the
punishment that you got for that?
nothing nobody got caught for it because we said we don't know.
Very interesting.
If
Huh.
the principal or the teacher of the school is watching this podcast, then they will say, "Oh, ये आग कहाँ लगी थी?"
Finally, the mystery will get resolved.
ऐसे
If
बहुत
you
से किस्से हैं बट ये मुझे लगा जो डिस्क्लोज कर सकते हैं पब्लिक फोरम.
so the others were much worse, and they can't be talked.
Yeah, we will when we meet we will discuss.
I remember your father was not well for a while before he passed away, and
Yeah.
must have been quite tough period. So, what are the memories or advices from your father which remain with you? Some, or maybe some instance about him or his background that has stuck with you and impressed you a lot.
Look, I would say with my father, what the most I would say strongest influence that he has in my life was that he was about like you have to be very clear on what you want to do and just have a clean integrity in doing that task. So whatever you do, it should be clean. Nothing has to go wrong. If you are going wrong somewhere, just raise your hand and say, look, this is something wrong that's going on. So one thing was taught to us as a family by my father to my sister also and to me that whatever task you do it with your full heart. Give your all 100% with all integrity, discipline, have a process and perseverance in doing that task. So that's what keep me always intact of my daily life also that जो भी करना है ना, so keep it clean.
Mhm.
Don't try to make it dirty or hanky panky and keep moving. So that is something I see and be consistent in what you are doing. So like we do running and we have to be consistent, right? So be consistent in whatever you're doing. Don't just delay dally or say, okay, I'll do it today and then 10 days after you do it again. So
Hmm.
that's what keep me going every day. And what he says, look, always used to say that your character is your real identity. So
Hmm.
if people know that if they are dealing with you or you are being assigned a task and you will give that task your 200%, not even 100. So
Hmm.
that's what probably I just go with that goal. However small or big is the task, I give my 100%.
उनके कोई instances, any experience that he shared with you about his own?
Look, my father and whatever he was a self-made person, lost both his parents at a very early age of his, and he had to work at even before his adulthood. So
Hmm.
he has done all the hard work. So I have always seen him doing hard work, giving his best for us, even if it has to probably cut down for his requirements and need. Typically, all parents do it, but as a son, I would say he did whatever was possible. And he was very kind-hearted, very open heart, be it with family or friends or unknown. So it keeps me probably somewhere grounded because of the habits he developed in me. The way he used to work, he was a salaried employee. So the way
Hmm.
he used to work in any organization
Hmm.
with clean goals and integrity is what I probably look up to. And
Hmm.
I also try to do the same thing.
You had a long corporate career before you got into running. Anything about your corporate career gave you hint about your ability to do long distance running?
So, number one, I was always into sports. It was not that I was never into sports. I used to play. But with going to college, my MBA, then all sports went off, right? And we were into more into corporate job hunting and getting into a job. But I got my job with City initially in 2002, 2003. And frankly, I've not changed many jobs. I worked with City for 13 years and then worked for Fullerton for 4 years. And then I'm with GMAC for last 8.5 years. So no job hopping or movement. And I was into risk operations and collections.
Hmm.
And during that time, 2000 to 2003, I would say, today it's all AI, automation. That time, banking was very, very manual, right? And it was very much Excel driven from a asset funding or financing kind of thing. I was into collections. It gave me
Hmm.
that rigor of process and being at it. The
Hmm.
initial 2, 3 years of my career, I was into collection. It was hardcore collection as you do.
Hmm.
And that gave me the toughness that be it winters or summers or rain, you have to be out chasing targets, chasing collections or chasing processes, setting up processes in during those Excel days, trying to
Hmm.
automate a lot of stuff. And City as an organization is very, very process oriented. So that gave me the discipline and perseverance that you have to be there always working on some process and as you know, financial services is very demanding. Today also is very demanding and challenging, right? You might hear people working for 5 days working, but in financial services, that time there was no 5 day. It was all 7 day working, right?
Hmm.
And the role that I was into, even if I was sitting in a movie hall with my wife watching a movie and some call comes at 9 or 10 in the evening, I used to just leave her there and say, look, just stay on. I'm coming in 1 hour. By the time movie ends, I'll be there. So I've gone through those phases of hard work. So which probably I feel has given me that discipline that you can't give up, right? So
Hmm.
you have to be there. So from a running perspective, look, there are all kind of runners today. So if you see people who chase a target, everybody chase a target, right?
Hmm.
But I also chase a target. But end of the day, what I feel is that even if my target is not achieved, I will have to finish this. So I will be the last person to leave a race today if I see I'm not achieving the goal what I wanted to.
True.
So that's what that corporate career is giving me to have some discipline, have a
Hmm.
planning in place, have patience. Results will come. It might come
Yeah.
with delay, but it will come. And you have to
Hmm.
be persistent and
Hmm.
consistent.
Right.
So that's what it has given me in running. And frankly, for my first 11 years of my corporate career, I was not into any sports.
Hmm.
जो भी थोड़ा बहुत office या कहीं कुछ something happened, we used to participate, but it was not something into there. But what that 11 years gave me was discipline, persistency, be consistent, do hard work, plan it
Hmm.
well, and results will come.
How did running happen? How did you end up starting running? What was the first run
So,
like?
I had a first job change. I was with City for so many years. In between, I did those dream runs in City itself, the 6 kilometer thing that used to happen in 2010, 11, right?
Hmm.
But in 2014, when I went to Bombay in this organization, it was a time when Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon 2013 is the time frame when it was happening, and people were just
Hmm.
talking about this run that, look, this is the run we are doing. I was like, what is all this running and all they are doing? Then I understood that there is a run called Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon. You have that time used to apply for that run, and there was a lottery that used to come that okay, I got my name and I you did not get the name because there was some qualification criteria. ऐसा पता नहीं था मुझे क्या था. So few
Uh,
said, look, I am just doing a 21, I am doing 42, and I was like, okay. And I was alone. My wife was in Gurgaon, and I
hmm.
was alone in Bombay with living with my sister and my brother-in-law. So I
Hmm.
thought टाइम कम है टाइम खाली है थोड़ा मतलब वीकेंड पे तो थोड़ा भाग ही लेते हैं एंड वी आई यूज्ड टू प्रॉब्ली रन अलोन देयर if you know
Hmm.
there is a RA colony there so
Yep.
their house was very near to that place and I used to just cross the road and then go to RA and do some short runs run walk and from there it started and I
Hmm.
was there for almost a year and I used to do these from 2013, 2014. I used to do those 10 kilometer, 5 kilometer runs.
Hmm.
Typically on a weekend. कभी कोई weekday पे 5 kilometer हो गया तो हो गया but that's where it got me going. And frankly, from that time till 2017, I would say I was more of a half marathon person or a 10K person running in majorly in winters and not in these peak summers like we do today, right? Whether it's sun or rain or winters we run. I
Yeah.
was more into like run in winters, run very less in summers. And there was in Gurgaon, there was everybody was part of JRR and
Yeah.
Rahul Varghese running a living event. So those were the events
Yeah.
that were happening. So we used to do those events, a random decision. I used to probably take on a Friday evening or a Saturday, Sunday, there is an event happening of running living. Let's do it. So that was the
Hmm.
kind of running I used to do till 2017. And my friend used to say, look, you've been running for so long. Why not you have done a full marathon? Now we see people who have done full marathons also. And you've been running for 4 years now. Nothing is
Hmm.
happening, right? You have to graduate. I said, no, I don't want to do it. And I registered for the Hyderabad half marathon because I studied in Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
And
Hmm.
then I said, look, I have to do a run there. At least I've spent 5 years, I will do a run there. And
Hmm.
these, my friends who just started running in 2015, 2016, and they did a full in the first year itself, they said, look, you've been running for so long. You
Hmm.
should also do a full. And they emailed to the organizer saying that GauravPant's email ID is not working. He wanted to upgrade to a full marathon and please upgrade. So I got a call from them and said, look, there is a request coming to you. In fact, a email to me. And I
Ah,
said, there is a change request. Why this has happened? So I called them. Have you guys done it? He said, yes. I said, okay, chalo, इन्होंने कर दिया तो कर लेते हैं.
ah,
And it was just 3 weeks ahead and I just did two long runs
yeah.
and then did that first full marathon and from where it got going. And that's an interesting thing where I started that run. And these guys said, look, कितनी देर में करेगा? मैंने कहा फिनिश कर लूं तुमने फंसवा दिया है मेरे को कर
Ah,
लेते हैं. Let's do something. And I was just running and I realized these guys zooming across me on the first 10 kilometers. And then probably when I reached the finish line, I called them. Where are
hmm.
you? One said, yeah, I am at 32. Other said, I am at 28. I said, क्या हो गया ऐसा?
Yeah. What is the
So
time?
I did the first full at in 4:47 Hyderabad, and these guys one reached in 5:40, the other reached even in 7 hours, and we were waiting for him that Aja bhai. That was a good run, and from there it started. And the same year in 2017, I did a stadium run of 12 hours and did a 90 kilometers there. And
Hmm.
I would say from there the journey began.
But you have had a long stint with half marathons. You did what, a 30-day non-stop every day half marathon. What prompted that, and what was the story behind it?
That is also a story. So, one of my friend Mika, she wanted to do this
Ah,
30 into 21, and she called a couple of her friends that I want to do this. Can you ask? Will you do? So they suggested ask Gaurav. He will do. She called me, said I want to do this. You should also do. I said no. Are you mad? All
ah,
these are just bullshit stuff. Why are you doing? You'll get injured. I'll get injured. There's no point doing it.
ah.
But then somehow the better sense prevailed and we started doing that. And I said, look, if we were doing this run, then we should do for a cause. And we agreed, okay. And she said, look, let's do it for road safety.
Hmm.
And then we started doing that run day one, day two, day three, day four. Seventh, eighth day, you probably 6 to 7 day, you feel that why are you doing all this? But from day eight or day nine, it becomes a habit. And you get up at 3 o'clock because, and we did peak summers. It was, if you know, there is a 100 days challenge that used to happen, and I think
Yeah,
आज भी वो होता है.
yeah.
So that
Every
was the
hour.
second or the second edition of it, and we said, okay, we'll register for 100 days and then do this, and we will finish this 30 days on the last day of 100 days. And that's how it happened. And every day it was a new day. I used to get up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Run used to start 6:30. Run khatam hota tha 7 o'clock. I was home and 8:30 back to office. So that was a good experience and good memory. I would say great memories. Doing something for a cause. It got featured a lot of by social media also.
Hmm.
So good fun, good memory.
So after the 12-hour stadium run, you had a 24-hour stadium run as well. So what is the philosophy behind stadium runs that you like? And what is it about a road runner that he has to prepare for a stadium run? What is the mindset difference that one has to prepare? And is stadium run far more easier than road running?
I would say both. There are two angles to it. Stadium run is difficult because it's in a 400-meter loop, very monotonous. You're just going round and round.
Hmm.
It is easier because you have all your support system in that 400 meters, right? Your
Hmm.
food, you need not carry stuff, right? There is a table or there is some support staff or support runner who is there to support you. You keep
Hmm.
getting those stuff. If you need a physio, you stop, you take that and you keep moving. In that sense, it's easy. It is difficult because it gets very monotonous. And I would say my first 12 hours was a no support run. Matlab, when we went, we saw a lot of runners doing, they have a support team, three people there trying to give them some nutrition, hydration, whatever they want. And I
Hmm.
and my friend, we were the two people who were doing that run. We were all alone. No support, nothing. अपना ही साइड में बैग रखा हुआ है वहीं पे पानी रखा हुआ है जाओ लो और स्टेडियम से ही पानी लो जो भी मिल रहा है वो करते रहो. And we did that run and we did a 91 kilometers distance and we were very happy. 220, I think it was 2018 or
Hmm.
17. But This run when we did, I think it was 2021, the 24-hour run that I did. We were experienced by that time, right? In between, I have done some ultras also. Malnad Ultra I had done, and couple of more ultras we had done. So we were experienced, and we knew that what all is required, what is the support that we need. But in that case also, after running, I would say for 8-10 hours, I was like bored. I said, no, I don't want to. I was like, I want to give up. And but we had lot of friends doing it from our group, but I was like, no. Then couple of friends come and said, कर ले यार हो जाएगा. And because you need that push in this monotonous journey of 400 meters, that some push. So I needed some 1 hour push from friends. Go for it, go for it, go for it. And but then it becomes very easy. You just keep going, enjoy the music, enjoy
Hmm.
the night, and be there.
Got it. Got it. And you have a special affiliation with Ladakh. Not only you did the 72-hour Khardungla, but you went and next day did a full marathon as well, just for fun.
Yeah, so frankly, look, it's not a very big task and everybody does it now.
Hmm.
So for me, Ladakh was quite a different thing because I have a issue, and I believe maybe not now, but I had an issue of low oxygen.
Hmm.
I had gone to Sikkim, and there, if you go to Nathula Pass, the oxygen level drops in. And maybe when I reached Nathula Pass, I reached to that peak, and I was not able to breathe. I was rushed back. I was given support of oxygen. I had always the fear that people say, look, you have done so many runs, go and do Khardungla. I was like, no, no, I will not do that.
Hmm.
Because I had the fear कि यार मरवर जाएंगे वहां पे और I just went for 10 minutes to Nathula Pass. I was struggling with my breath. I will not do Khardungla. But then I convinced myself and I said, look, let me try. What will happen? I will fail. What will happen? DNF ही होगा ना और क्या होगा? I
Hmm.
will just give up.
Yeah.
So I prepared for it, prepared very hard, and I reached there on time. And a couple of friends had done this before. I did in 2022, so a couple of them have done in 2018, 17, 19 all. So they said, look, the game there is to acclimatize.
Hmm.
And my thought was also the same, that just be there, take the advice, don't experiment.
Hmm.
Maybe if today I go, I might experiment
Yeah.
because somehow I have the confidence that कि कैसे करना है. But that time I was very worried, right?
Hmm.
I was like, कि पता नहीं कैसे होगा. And I was there inside my room, I say just for 3 days, just sipping water, having electrolytes. And when one of my other friend joined in, that day I stepped out. And everybody was saying, यार 3 दिन हो गए बाहर तो आजा कमरे के. So I just used to drink, do my work, go down to the hotel, eat, come back and sleep. But day four, I was fine. And I was like, I was comfortable because it was for my comfort. And I did some small runs here and there. Asked today, if you go, people do a lot of practice, go to K-top and do a lot of practice. But I just did one 3 kilometer walk at K-top and one 3 to 5 kilometer run at South Pullu. And then I was there at the start line. And for me, I was very clear that I have to finish this run. No timing, nothing. Just go and finish. And I was advised, even if you walk, you will
Hmm.
finish it. And the entire race, I just walked. When I reached K-top, my legs were trembling and it was because of low oxygen. People said, let's have a soup. I said, no. कहीं मैं रुका और गिर गया तो क्या होगा? I came down and I thought I'll change in South Pullu and I'll just change, give my jacket and all, become very hot at that place. When I reached that place, the team had lost my baggage. They said we can't find it. And I was like, come on, man. And I was standing and my legs were still trembling. I was like,
Yeah.
अगर मैं यहाँ रुका तो फिर गिर जाऊंगा. I said,
Hmm.
okay, chuck it. Let's go down. I just tied my jacket and with a bottle and jacket and a bag, I was just moving down. At Medak mode, I just threw my jacket. I said, they said, look, sir, we can't take it. You will lose. I said, forget it, yaar. जाने दो अब क्या कर सकते हैं. And I just walked, jogged. After meetup mode, probably I would say I just jogged a bit also. And I finished it. Finished is very strong. I was perfectly fine. 2 days. Next day I rested. And day before. Day after that, I did my full marathon. Full marathon also, it was just a fun run. Just run, walk. I did a lot of video calls with my friends in Gurgaon. Showed them Ladakh during that run. And I finished that run, I think I would say 5:40, 5:45 is the time that I did. Just
Hmm.
walked and jogged. enjoyed that course.
So a lot of times in endurance running, they say the training is the killer. The actual event is far more easier because you have the momentum of the crowd carrying you. There are other runners with you as well. Now, Khardungla, because of the fact that you had the altitude issue, do you think the training was still the real part, or to actually conquer that fear of height was really big deal for
Look,
you eventually?
yeah, so I would say I think I overtrained for Kardungla. I was doing some crazy mileage, crazy runs in the summers of Delhi, right? But when I went there, I realized that यहाँ तो walk ही करना है भाई, भागना तो है ही नहीं. But now I realize that yes, the training helped. It gave me that confidence, it gave me that endurance, right, to
Yeah,
survive that 12 hours or 12 hours odd that I took to finish
yeah.
that run. It gave me that endurance to finish it, give me that confidence that I have the mileage with me. It is the altitude which can hit me, not the distance or anything else. Training is very important
Hmm.
in any run that you do. Even if you do a 5K, if you want to perform, you have to train. And as I believe, you have to do some structured training. It can't be random. कि आज भागो 4 दिन बाद नहीं भागोगे फिर भाग लेंगे. It cannot be like that. It
Hmm.
has to be very, very structured to get yourself results.
Hmm.
So today also, if I train, because my daughter is growing, I have to spend a lot of time with her, and my events are very, very random, frankly. But what I keep in mind is that I will train in whatever time I get, I will train properly, and I will train to a extent that I can do a full any day you say, okay, कल करनी है तो कल हो जाएगी, no problem.
Yeah.
And I don't chase timing there in such thing. And even
Yeah.
if you say, okay, if there's an ultra, then I will at least need 8 to 10 weeks of time to graduate to that distance.
Hmm.
But I will keep from last 2 to 3 years, what I'm doing, Hetal, is that my monthly average is 250 to 300 kilometers.
Hmm.
I keep that mileage, whether I'm training for any event or not,
Yeah.
just for a purpose. Because running in all these years has become a purpose and a passion for me. It's not something कि मेरे को कोई event करना है तो मैं running कर रहा हूँ, or just for my passion, for my me time, I do this.
Hmm.
I do this sport. I play this sport, I would say. And if there are any event I find interesting, I go and do it. So I am not somebody who has a craze of doing those world majors. I try to find runs locally in this country and do it. So I did a Malnad, I did a Ooty Ultra, I did these border runs, did some local runs, I went to Udaipur to run, I
Yeah.
did Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Chennai. So explore within the country. There's a lot of runs that are there in different weather conditions. Just explore those. And if I find some runs in between, I register and then go for it.
Hmm.
So
And
most of my registrations are maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks before or a last day of.
hmm. And after Khardungla, you did a dramatically different border 100 miler, which was in a completely different terrain. Anything which stays with you? Any incident, any memory of that run?
Look, border is a very good run to do, and there are emotions attached to it because it has a story behind it. So it starts at 12 in the afternoon, and I did 100 miler there. And my aim was just to finish that run within 24 hours. And there was no aim to finish it later because that year I had not trained that well. Frankly, my highest distance of training during border was 50 kilometers. I had not run a larger distance or a bigger distance than 50, but I did a lot of back to back 30-30, 20-50, or 50-10 kind. I did a lot of runs, which gave me confidence that I can at least finish this run within that time. And I did well, made a lot of friends in between because till 50 I was kind of running alone, just crossing people. But after 50, I had some partners in between. So I met somebody with whom I ran till 70, 80. Then
Hmm.
that person had some issue. I joined someone else. Then probably one of my friend was not feeling well. I ran with that. I walked with that guy for 18 kilometers and then he said, no, not possible now. Then I was like, oh, I am in a no man's land and nobody's there and it's midnight. Then I
Yeah.
said, look, no stopping. Now I have to just go all out.
Hmm.
And I went all out. The strangest thing that happened in that run, I saw a person coming opposite to me and I was like, and I heard few people in between have lost way and they went 4 or 5 kilometers ahead and then they had to come back. And when I met him, I said, boss, you are coming on the wrong side. He said, no, I'm on the right side, you're on the wrong side. And I was like, shit, 5 kilometers I have come and then there's something wrong that has happened. But then I asked him that why you were saying I'm on the wrong side. So he said, sir, I was not feeling well. I slept. When I woke up, I started walking this side. And I told him, no, boss, you are on the wrong side. I am on the right side. And till the time the next aid station came, I was like worried maybe he was right. But then luckily I was right and we took the right distance. I
Very
was able to
interesting.
finish that run maybe 9 minutes ahead of my planned time, but that's fine. Those runs are there.
And you had some Gurgaon to Jaipur run. What made you prompt
Yeah.
run from Gurgaon to Jaipur?
So yeah, so there
इसके पीछे
we
कौन किसने भगाया आपको?
ये तो मतलब मैंने ही किया था ऐसा ये आइडिया मेरा ही था आई वुड से आई हैड अ प्लान दैट लेट्स डू अ सिटी टू सिटी रन
Hmm.
and we were 8 9 of our friends I would say the core people which formed the MKJ group as you say and
Hmm.
I said look let's do a run from Gurgaon to Jaipur or any Gurgaon to Agra we picked up Jaipur I said look let's do it and we did some logistics around it.
Hmm.
And we said, okay, kuch, we need an ambulance, we need a couple of cars, we need stays in between. We don't want to do it in one go. We want to break it into 2 or 3 days and do it. And all 8 9 of us will do this run. And fortunately, everybody agreed. Let's do it. And we just figured out, we said, okay, 40,000 rupees aa raha hai per person. Let's pool in this money, get everything arranged. We had 3 4 doctors with us in that. So we said, ambulance ये करवा देंगे कुछ ना कुछ वो क्या होगा खर्चा ही लगेगा and we just made this and then one of our friend went to in the hospital and said okay they want to take approval they said why you're taking approval for a run they said it's a 3 day run because we are running from Gurgaon to Jaipur and then that the HOD of Fortis said look why if you're doing a run why don't you do it for a cause and from there it came that a self-funded run became a
Sponsored run.
sponsored run by Fortis Gurgaon. Everything was arranged for us, and we first stopped. We had one stop at Midway there, and then another stop near Jaipur, day two. We had some sessions in between with the look. Fortis has a lot of tie-ups in between these hospitals, right? So we
Hmm.
had some sessions about female cancer awareness, and then we reached the finish point on day three. So I think all of us did some 215 kilometers of run from Gurgaon to Jaipur, spreading awareness. And there was a local run also organized by Fortis in Gurgaon, where
Hmm.
they did the run with the local people with 5 10 kilometers options. And 10 of us probably moved towards the Jaipur highway, the
Right.
old one, and did that run. It was a great experience. And we still want to repeat it. So there are discussions happening to do, and we called it a pink purple run. It was a name given because of the breast cancer and a
Right.
female cancer for it. We want to do a PPR too. We are looking at options, how we can do it, where we can do it. We want to add more people because if a lot of people saw us doing it, so they also want to do it. We're
Yeah.
exploring if we can do something similar in near future, this year or next year, a similar 200-kilometer distance, or maybe a short distance of 120 kilometers
Hmm.
and do some run. Maybe you will hear it soon.
Very
Something
interesting.
might come up.
And then you moved from running to coaching, right? So what prompted you to take that direction, and what's been the journey so far?
Yeah, so I thought let me give it back to the society also in terms of what I have learned, I give it back. But before that, I thought let me get certified because if I don't get certified, people might question. Just experience is not something which one should bank upon. Or
Hmm.
certification probably gives you also that confidence, also a learning. Because running you do, right? But when you read, there is so much to it, right? There's so much to it, so much science to it. At least you should have some idea because you train all kind of people and all kind of genders. So
Hmm.
you should know about what's happening in the body. If not be a doctor, but at least some idea about what
Yeah.
can go wrong. So that's about it. And that's how I certified myself and then probably trained few people. And I continue doing it. So I train some people today also. It's a great journey. It's a very good probably learning for me with the inputs that they give and a proud moment also somebody who never wanted to run have done a 5K or probably a full marathon or an ultra makes me very happy that somebody who never thought that they can do all this is now doing something very different. I would continue to do that, not in a probably full-fledged stage, but yes, on and off, whatever time I get off work.
Is it more difficult to prepare yourself, or more difficult to prepare someone else to do something?
I think prepare someone else because you as a person, you know yourself and you know your challenges, your boundaries, right? What you do, how you do your personal work, your work, and how
Yeah.
you want to train. But if somebody comes to you for a training, maybe for a 10K or a 21K or a 50K also or 100K,
Hmm.
they will tell you there are certain life challenges, right? Not everything, right? And you might get to know those challenges as you train them or build relationship with them.
Hmm.
Your expectation with your trainee is something that if I have given this plan, as a coach, I can only give plans, motivate them, give them ideas how to probably sneak in time. But end of the day, it is that person who has to show up and
Hmm.
deliver, right?
Hmm.
So that's where I feel my corporate life is helping me, where I have handled large teams and a lot of complicated teams and different people. I have that experience of handling so many people in different across their career stages. And
Hmm.
that's how I take my trainees also. And I related that, okay, in my corporate life, how I handle this and how as a runner, and I can understand what a female body goes through or how a male reacts or what kind of office pressure would be and what kind of job that person is into and what kind of pressure that person is going through. What I keep telling everybody is that don't rush for goals. Today, if you see that there is a rush. So if I look at me, maybe I'm very late. I took at least 4 or 5 years to do my first full. आज लोग साल भर में 100 किलोमीटर ही भागाते हैं, right? Which I don't agree to that you should run. But ठीक है, when somebody is young and they want to do it, they do it fast. But it does not have longevity in maximum people. You might get that longevity in few, but not in everybody. So everything has to be sustainable, right? If even if I would relate to my financial services organization or the fintech world, any fintech or any financial organization which tries to grow very fast. आज एक ब्रांच है कल 10 परसों 30 फिर 50 वो
Hmm.
फेल ही होता है मतलब इट फॉल्स लाइक अ पैक ऑफ कार्ड बिकॉज देन द प्रोसेसेस गो haywire or something wrong goes up something wrong happens in some of the branches and you then probably lose a lot of money. Same thing happens with a runner in a runner's journey also,
Hmm.
right, where you try to do everything very fast or try to achieve speed very fast.
Hmm.
आज अगर आप probably if you're running a half in 3 hours and you say okay मुझे अगले 2 महीने में 2 घंटे करना है तो it is not easy, right, for everybody. One odd might do it, right, because their body is like that and it was their first run. 3 महीने ट्रेनिंग करा तो 2 घंटा हो गया.
Yeah.
But 99% will not be able to,
Hmm.
right? So that's why I keep telling people don't compare, don't look at others. It is always you versus you. And unless you are somebody who has aspirations to represent your country, which is a different ball game, where you have to then slog so much, train so much, be very, very disciplined. All of us, I would say everybody except for 0.5% of the running population
Yeah.
is into that zone, right? So you will be there, right? Just enjoy the sport and try to do this running till you die. I just tell people, अगर 17 साल में मर रहे हो तो 69.69 is 11 months तक तुम भाग रहे होने चाहिए.
Yeah.
That's is what sport all about. It should not be that you run for 2 3 years, get yourself injured, और फिर 4 साल बैठे हो.
That's true. Yeah, I think consistency and being able to run for a long time, that has its own
Yeah,
merits.
and be structured, right? Running, I would say, is the exercise which gives you the highest load on your body, right?
Yeah.
आप मतलब body weight कितना पड़ रहा है बार बार भाग रहे हो. It is not also right. So give that body time to recover, build the muscles around, and give yourself some flexibility and mobility so that your body is able to take all the load that you're giving.
Like every runner, you have had your fair share of injuries. Anything that pulled you down and you felt miserable at any point of time?
So frankly, till the time I was running a half marathon from 2013 till 2018, कोई injury नहीं हुई. There was no injury, nothing ever. I heard about कि कुछ injury जैसी चीज भी होती है.
Hmm.
And I was there more into mobility, yoga and running. कोई strength तब नहीं करता था. But the moment I got into full marathons or ultra, when the injury is probably as every runner goes through, I have also gone through injuries. One major injury that I've gone through is probably before my Malnad run. I had twisted my ankle, and in a run, I had registered for 100K there, which I had to probably, with the help of my physio and all taping, etc. I did a 50K, but it was Malnad was also an experience. Course was completely slushy with all rain around, slippery. We had a lot of falls, lot of leeches there. So it was an experience. That was one injury which probably pulled me back. Although I didn't stop running, it pulled my target. But
Hmm.
after Khadungla, I got injured. Maybe I did a Khadungla, I did a full. Next week I did a Satara half. और उसके बाद कुछ ना कुछ निगल था. I had a groin injury where doctor said, look, you have to take rest. And I
Hmm.
took a rest of 3 months. And then Jan onwards, then I started running. So October, November, December, I was more into cycling, indoor cycling. That is I would say, the biggest injury. The rest, what today I do, I make sure that at least I do one sports massage once a month, at least come what may. People say do two, कई बार दो भी हो जाती है महीने में.
Hmm.
And I take a physio session once in 2 months. And I focus a lot on my mobilities there.
So running requires a lot of control on nutrition and the way you control your diet. Has it come easy to you, or has it taken a long time for you to learn what works right well for you?
See, although my wife is into a different role, but she's a certified nutritionist and she's a double masters in nutrition. तो जिस दिन से हमारी कोर्टशिप स्टार्ट हुई है उस दिन से मेरे खाने में ना कंट्रोल ही रहता है. तो मेरे लिए कभी कोई देयर इज
बिगड़ने
नो
का मौका ही
प्रॉब्लम.
नहीं मिला कभी।
मौका नहीं मिला. मतलब frankly, I have a sweet tooth. I eat a lot of sweet. So frankly, if I stop taking sweets, I would have lost a lot of weight. But in my running journey from 2014 till now, I have not gained a single kg, or maybe once in a while 1 or 2 kgs, but I have not lost also because I have this bad habit of eating sweets. My diet has been very, very sorted, clean, clear, and now there is no discussion around it. पता है क्या खाना है, क्या करना है, और सुबह क्या खाना है, सुबह एग्स खाने हैं, दिन में क्या कितने what how many chapatis or rice, or generally my dinner is mostly on salad and starters, or very less of chapati or something. So
Hmm.
my nutrition has never been a challenge in my journey. घर का खाना कोई बाहर का खाना नहीं होता, मतलब कि बाहर का खाना हो रहा है घर बाहर we go out and eat. It's not
Hmm.
like that. But my nutrition, I have never had a problem. It is my sweet tooth which is the problem, which leads to probably some not losing weight. अब वो हो नहीं रहा है, but my next target is to probably cut down on this. And on weekend, generally we sit and enjoy our couple of drinks. So those are my two targets which I have to control. But if I control both of them, then I think I will be a better runner.
Have you been able
What
to
about
inspire runners at your workplace? Any stories around that?
Yes, so in my current organization, not much, but yes, people have started going to gym, etc., etc. But people with whom I have worked previously, lot of them have got into running, and they enjoy, and they say, look, because of you have got into running, or maybe they got into cycling or some kind of physical fitness. There are
Hmm.
a lot of people.
And you never digress towards triathlons for sure. But even in running, I mean, except for Marlon, I've not seen you do much of trail runs. Is that a conscious effort not to get onto trail, or?
Look, frankly, I want to do a lot of trail runs, and I've done a couple of runs. Malnad, I did the Redstone, I have done the trailathon quite a bit. But for a trail run, you have to go and train on a trail, right? I have to go and train. Although the trail is just behind my house, you know it, right? But वो वही होता है अकेला जाना. You need a partner to run in a trail, right? Running
Hmm.
alone inside a trail early morning sometimes is not safe, because I've had a couple of incidents where there are few animals who have just chased me, which probably makes me look क्या करना जाके, right? So and I've done some backyard ultras. It's 60% trail. I've
Hmm.
done all those, and I want to do a lot of trails. Frankly, I will love to do trails. I don't know when that time will come, but it's in my list that I have to do it.
Hmm.
It's a lot of time is left. I'm just 48, so अभी time है काफी. Trail
Yeah.
कर लेंगे.
What's your North Star? What's a big goal that you're chasing?
No goals, frankly. There is no goal that I'm chasing. And as a coach, I should not say. I typically train for a certain time in a race, right? But I also want to make sure maybe that I will not give my 100% for that race, because and I will give at that 90% because I don't want to get a cramp and stop the race. So I always have that fear कि यार और तेज भागोगे ना तो cramp आ जाएगा,
Hmm.
or something will hit you. So just control your pace. And people say you are running so easily, so smooth, और 342 पे आपने फुल कर ली. So because I know inside कि यार ना मैं थोड़ा दे सकता था, but I had that कि why to push where you feel कि कुछ हो जाए. Because I don't chase any targets. Look, this Udaipur Ultra also, I went with a target that I will do in a 12 hour, right? and I had planned it. I had planned the course completely कि हाँ ऐसा incline है ऐसा and everything was planned. Till 50 kilometer I was bang on time. I was in fact 5 minutes ahead of time. But after 50, the weather played its part. The sun hit so hard that I had to completely change the strategy and just think of finishing that race. And I was off target by 1 hour 19 minutes. I'd finished in 13 hours 19 minutes rather than at 12 hours. And when I saw others finishing very, very fast and experienced, I would not say experienced, very, very fast runners also finishing in 11:30 or 12 hours, I was like, चलो ठीक तो क्या गलत नहीं किया. So there is no regret. I don't probably repent कि this run didn't happen as planned. I am not here to probably break some goals. Yes, I typically give myself a target to achieve, but it's not that nahi hua to I get upset. That's
Hmm.
okay, that's fine. It can happen next time.
So while the world might see all the smiling pictures and the happy faces at the end, ultra running is tough, right? And we hold back a lot of emotions. Any particular instance where you were vulnerable and could not hold back your emotions? Anything that stays with you?
I would say frankly, I have been a DNF in only one race till now. Apart from the backyards that I've done, वो सभी DNF होते हैं except for one person. But generally, there was a flag run that happened in Gurgaon. It's about an unofficial run, virtual run. A lot of people were doing it. And it was that time of my running journey where I had a little niggle and injury symptoms, and I had my groin pain that time. So that was the run. I was like, at 30, I said, why I'm doing it? There is pain. At 40, I again questioned myself why I'm doing it. But and 50, I just gave up. I did 50. I said, look, enough. I have done a 50. It's good enough for me. I will not do that 100K. But I would still say there is no regret to it. And I still feel I took a wise decision to stop because anyway, it was just a virtual run, just a run we were all doing virtually just for fun. A lot of people were together doing it. And I stopped. So that's the run. But one run which probably is very emotional to me and will be, it is the Chennai Marathon. I had registered for that run when my dad was not well. I thought, okay, क्या होगा जाके कर तो लेंगे रन कोई दिक्कत नहीं है dad is not well but things will happen but what happened just 20 days before he passed away and I was like छोड़ो अब नहीं जाएंगे let's not do it but then frankly my family has been very very supportive be it my father mother or my wife and my daughter they are like my backbone. You must hear people are saying, "यार घर में बड़ी मार हो रखी है, I can't run." Right in a runner's world, I have never had, touch wood, never had these issues.
Hmm.
Full support. जो करना है करो, जहाँ जाना है जाओ, जहाँ भागना है भागो. It is a passion, do it. And then, dude, he passed away. The run was on 3rd of Jan, and 1st Jan, my wife said, "Why are you not doing that? You have registered for it. Why you are not doing that run? Right? Go and do it." I booked my ticket on 1st for 2nd. And I went, and it was very foggy on 2nd. I reached the airport, and the flight got delayed. And I was like, there's so much fog, the flight will get delayed, but I was getting messages from the airline, the flight is on time. And I reached there, and 30 minutes before the takeoff, they said the flight is delayed. Till 2:30 in the afternoon, there was no news about the flight will take off or not. And then finally, 2:45, they said, okay, go and sit inside, we will take. My run is next day, early morning. Chennai run starts at 4
Hmm.
a.m. and we were taken inside the plane and the plane was not taking off. And I was got very upset. I said कि नहीं करनी यार run यार ये छोड़ो. And then the aircraft
What a
person
way
said,
to also once you're inside
no,
the.
no. So I fought with them and they said चलो सर अब जाओ बाहर हो गया हम आपको बाहर भेज देंगे. तो फिर मुझे it's something prevailed. I said कि यार ना I was running for my dad and I should not do it. वो मुझसे कहता सर चलो बाहर आपको मैंने अप्रूवल ले लिया है and I said नहीं यार मुझे नहीं जाना and I went back. The flight took off. Landed in Chennai at 6:30 p.m. I told my friend Ashu to just collect my babe etc. और मेरे होटल में प्लीज पहुंचा देना रिसेप्शन में. He did everything for me. I land there and I realized कि मैं तो अपनी यार पानी की बॉटल ही नहीं लाया हूँ. There is no water bottle I'm carrying. Now what will I have to run a full? And I'm a person who have always run a full with a bag, right? I have nothing. I call up Decathlon. I said I need a water bottle. I can see on your website there is a 500 ml bottle there. I need that. They said you have to come and collect. I said no, I can't come because by the time I reach you, it will be 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So then I did a Swiggy Genie from the car. The person went to Decathlon, got me that bottle. And I went for that run, and thanks to my friend, some Ashu's friend came and picked me at 3 a.m. from my hotel. They took me to the start line, and I was like, "यार 4:30 में run हो जाए ना, Chennai weather, you know how it is, right? And I will be very happy." And I started running, and then when I did a first 10K, I 55 मिनट में हो गया 10K. Then I said, "चलो, let's go with the flow." And I did that run in 3:55, and I was like, everyone was like zapped. Oh man, what you did? Untrained, nothing was there, and just so
Yeah.
I would say it was that emotion which probably got me going, carried me. And like when I crossed 20th kilometer mark and Ashu was there at one of the aid station, he said, "Oh, how come at 151 you were here? You were supposed to be here at 210 times." That's a race to remember for me, and I tell everybody. Go and do that race. It is so well organized by the runners.
Hmm.
You will not believe you will get gels for full marathon people. कोई रन देती है जेल रनर को जेल मिल रहा है आपको फुल मैराथन में खाने को और क्या चाहते हो एंड
Yeah.
support staff is there till the end and in Chennai sun those volunteers are standing and those volunteers are runners
Hmm.
so they do a great job amazing run anybody and everybody should do that run for sure.
So Chennai, you felt better than Hyderabad because Hyderabad is also appreciated a lot in terms of support and.
So Hyderabad was is close to me because of I have been there, studied
Yeah.
there, and I have done that run 2 3 times. So Chennai has different emotions. I would rate both the runs. I would still rate Chennai better than Hyderabad.
Acha.
पता नहीं क्यों maybe there is an emotion to
Yeah.
it and the kind of support it is there. Both runs are equally good, well supported, well managed, and not many people do it. So it's not like a TMM where so many people are there that you find so
Yeah.
many. It gets difficult to run.
Yeah.
So
Anything about running that you still don't have an answer to?
I don't think so. I think people ask me when will you do improve your timing? I said, look, timing everything will improve with time. So I
Good
will
luck.
do that. And I think just enjoy the running. Don't make it too complicated. Don't give yourself targets, which probably makes you under pressure. There's already a lot of pressure in your life, in a work life, right? In your life. So I believe I got into the sport to enjoy, as you say, the joy of running. Why to make it complicated? Yes, when you choose a race, you set your targets within yourself and try to achieve it.
Yeah.
But I don't make it an ego issue that कि ये नहीं हुआ 3:30 नहीं हुआ या 3:40 नहीं हुआ तो I will lose respect.
Hmm.
I don't care about the world. Yeah, it's my sport. Nobody pays my bill for my sport, so just enjoy the sport.
Now comes my favorite part of the podcast. What's the question you have for me?
मैंने बहुत सोचा था कि you ask this all this question, but
फंस गया.
so So I would say that you have done so many podcasts, right? So many podcasts and met. I would say, मतलब I'm nothing. You have brought in some excellent guests. So हम तो बट immature लोग हैं, छोटे लोग हैं. तो
आपको बड़ा
after
प्यार
after hosting so many conversations that you have done, that has your definition of kind of courage evolved, or
है.
you feel that it's the same? And I have another question for you is that listening to so many people, right, and so many stories, which is the best kind of story that you have felt is the right courage story that person has given it to you, right? You felt, yes, this is something different.
Very good question. So I think the first one, yes, I think what I have learned the most from courage talks is that courage is the most difficult to define because
Yeah,
nobody wants to define courage where it has a boundary condition. Because अगर आपने बाउंड्री कंडीशन बना दी तो फिर करेज श्रिंक हो जाएगा.
correct.
So whenever I've heard people giving definition, they've been very ambiguous, very vague. बहुत टाइम लेते हैं. मतलब courage is this, no. Courage is this plus this plus this. So I sense it takes courage to define courage. I think that's the way I would put it because अगर आपने courage को define कर दिया तो आपने एक सीमा fix कर दी
Yeah,
और उससे
you
अगर
have
आप
fixed a boundary wall.
फिर courage क्या रह गया. भाई
Correct.
करेज सेज डू द अनथिंकेबल. अच्छा तो मैं अनथिंकेबल कर लूं. अच्छा तो
हाँ,
यार
फिर
अनथिंकेबल
क्या?
मैं कर रहा हूं तो फिर वो करेज नहीं रहा ना. फिर तो
Correct.
आपने उसको ब्रेक कर दिया राइट. So that's one thing which I've noticed and I love that because and I think said that in a couple of episodes. No person has given me the same response on definition of courage so far. And that goes to show, right? हर कोई एक एफर्ट डालता है कि इसमें कुछ ऐसा हो कि मैं इसको ऐसा ही रहने दूं, इसको
Correct.
मुझे डिफाइन नहीं करना, मुझे कंप्लीट नहीं करना है. So that's what I like. And I think one story which resonated with me was there was this talk by founder of the Guardian pharmacy chain, Ashu, and he narrated some of the instances of how he brought up the chain of pharmacies and the amount of effort which went behind bringing up those pharmacy chains, which we easily walk into. And he described how the worker who was supposed to clean the toilet in the pharmacy was not there, and he picked up
Yeah.
the cleaning equipment and cleaned it himself as a demonstration. And this is a gentleman who spent what 2.5 decades in top-notch corporates, and he
Yeah.
became an entrepreneur. So there were multiple feelings which were coming to my mind, that what all you need to shed to gain something, right? And I think that was one of the instances which stayed with me a lot. One of the episodes, Bipin called, he didn't describe it in the episode, but he mentioned it to me later, that in one of his Ironmans, or was it Ultraman, his gear changing was not working. So the gear in which you have to shift
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
inclines was not
Yeah.
working. And he was coming across inclines every now and then.
Yeah.
And obviously एक time का pressure रहता है. So he was stopping the bike, manually shifting it over, and then starting over. And the way he described, I was like, oh my God, ये क्या है यार? The other one which remains with me, Vineet from T10, he described about his Ultraman journey and the kind of incidents he had. It made it, I mean, he got a DNF, but
Yeah.
उसका डीएनएफ ऐसा था कि ऑर्गेनाइजर ने खुद बोला, सर हम आपको मान गए हैं, आप अल्ट्रामैन हो. नहीं नहीं, मैं नहीं हूँ. So I think, yeah, some of these stories remain with me, and a lot of people talk to me about my next book. I sometimes think my next book is going to be Courage Talks. I have so much of stories and so much of experiences to talk about. I think that would itself make it a
Yeah.
great book.
Yeah. I think you have had great guests on your podcast. So
Yeah.
some great stories. And probably if I hire somebody in my organization today also, one question that I definitely tell them that join this company if you can wash utensil in the pantry. If you can't wash it, please don't
Ah,
join.
very true.
So that's the approach we need today to probably
Ah.
grow any organization.
I think
Yeah.
staying grounded, which we runners learn a lot, right?
Yeah. Stay
giving
grounded.
giving up privileges, अच्छा खासा रजाई का कंफर्ट छोड़ के 3 बजे जाके दौड़ने जा रहे हो, कुत्तों से लड़ रहे हो. I think that teaches a lot of humility
That is
and
also courage.
say, yeah, that's true. The
Yeah.
dog needs courage to bark at us, man. He doesn't know what kind of people we are.
Exactly. Correct.
But yeah, no, it's great talking to you, Gaurav.
Same
Excellent,
here as well.
excellent journey, and thanks a lot for sharing all those memorable and emotional moments. Good
Yeah.
luck to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Bye.